Merry Christmas and hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me on this Christmas morning. This is your Monday Night Review, highlights, lowlights, and of course, Miller Lights. It is Christmas Day. Raw was pre-taped. So if you read the spoilers like I did, I hope you went back and watched because it always comes across a little different on television. So I'm going to go over match by match, give you guys my grades. I'll make this short and sweet. I know it's Christmas. You guys have stuff going on. So the show opens up with Elias on guitar. He cuts a promo, sings a jingle about Bobby Lashley. It's pretty funny. That leads to a Miracle on 34th Street fight. During this match, we saw the likes of a bowling ball being rolled into Bobby Lashley's groin area. Ouch. We saw Bobby Lashley take a fall off the top rope onto a pile of Legos. Ouch. Very, very Home Alone-ish of them to do.
I'm not sorry. I did what I did because Buzz humiliated me.
We saw Elias go over by smashing a cello across the back of Bobby Lashley. Ouch. And then at the end, we saw Elias shove a bunch of cookies into Leo Rush's mouth and cover him with eggnog. This match did exactly what it was meant to do. It was a gimmick match. It was a holiday-themed match. They used all the foreign objects in their disposal. They made it interesting. What is he going to use next? And, yeah, it was a good match. You know, what do you expect? I give it an A. Bobby Roode and Chad Gable versus The Revival. Now, it's been a couple weeks in a row now we've seen The Revival on Raw, which I'm hoping is more of a trend than just a coincidence. I really like their no flips, just fist style. It's very refreshing to watch, old school. And this match was a very good wrestling match. I mean, if you go back and watch it, these two teams did a great job of incorporating different movesets and combinations that really worked well together. And they did it without making it a spot fest. So for that, I do give these guys an A. Drew McIntyre's in the ring. He cuts a promo and says he's going to win the Royal Rumble and go on to main event WrestleMania, which, God, I hope that's true. It's very possible, and if you ask me, I would even say it's very probable that that does happen. This leads to a triple threat match between Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, and Finn Balor. And believe it or not, guys, we've seen Finn Balor go over clean here with the coup de grace on Dolph Ziggler. It was a good match. I think these three work very well together, especially Finn Balor and Dolph Ziggler. And I wouldn't mind seeing these two in matches down the road, maybe leading up until WrestleMania. I know Finn Balor is due for a massive push. We'll see how massive that push is actually going to be. But, him winning clean in this triple threat match does say a lot about what they think of him backstage and where they're headed with him. These are two really good guys that he just beat clean. After the match, Drew McIntyre gets in Dolph Ziggler's face and says, "Hey, I'm trying to change things around here and you're screwing it up. You're in my way." Blah, blah, blah. So that leads to a match. I'll get into that in a second. I don't want to spoil it in case you didn't watch. For this match, I do give it an A. It was a good wrestling match, good chemistry, and Finn Balor goes over clean. So my grade is definitely an A. Now here's what I'm talking about. They cut to a segment backstage with Vince McMahon Claus. He said he's got 3 gifts for the WWE Universe. The first one being that John Cena is back. He's back on Raw and he's back on SmackDown. So, yeah, they had to insert John Cena back to give him time to get into a storyline leading up until WrestleMania. That way they've got him on the card. So you knew he was going to be back eventually. He announced, this is a good one. This is a really good one. He announced that the women's division will be getting tag team titles, which it's been a long time. People have been clamoring for this for a long time, myself included. What that does is it gets more women on the card. Instead of having a women's battle royal every night or an 8-woman gauntlet match, now you've got a tag division where you can feature, in a simple tag match, you can feature 4 women at the same time. So Great idea. It's about time, and I can't wait to see where this goes. I can't wait to see what pairings they come up with for the tag division, but I'm sure it'll be great. It's something that needed to be done, and I'm glad it was. The third gift that Vince McManta had for the WWE Universe is what I kind of hinted at earlier. It's a cage match between Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre that will take place next week on the A Show, on Ben Conrad's show, Monday Night Raw. So yeah, that'll be a good one, I'm sure, too. This backstage segment, I'm going to grade also because I thought it was good. It was funny, it was entertaining, and I liked the news that came out of it. So I give that backstage segment with Vince McManta an A. Paul Heyman's in the ring for his Paul Heyman holiday celebration. He did a Silent Night rendition, basically hyping up Brock Lesnar. He says he will go on to win at the Royal Rumble. Braun Strowman comes out. He puts a Rudolph nose on Heyman with reindeer antlers. And then he cuts a typical Braun Strowman promo saying, at Royal Rumble, Lesnar's going to get these hands.
I'm going to deck your halls, bub.
This segment was what it was. You know, if I gave this segment anything other than an A, I feel like I would be disrespecting all the work that Paul Heyman has ever done on microphone because, yeah, he's just fun to watch. His promos are kind of, I get a lot of people think they're becoming a little stale, a little redundant, but it's Paul Heyman. This match here should have been the main event, but it wasn't. It was Ronda Rousey and Natalya for the Raw Women's Championship. This was a great match. Okay, it really was. There was a lot of different submissions used. A lot of them were modified submissions. There was this modified abdominal stretch by Natalya that was a really good looking hold. Go back and rewind it. It was about halfway through the match. She had her leg bent up over her side and with the abdominal stretch. Really cool looking move you don't see every day. And this match here between friends was as believable as they could have possibly made it, knowing that everyone knows Ronda Rousey was not dropping the title to Natalya on Monday Night Raw. It was not happening. Okay, but they made it as believable as it possibly could have been. I thought this was a great wrestling match between two best friends. I think, and I'm going to get a lot of crap for this, but I think it was better than Bayley versus Sasha Banks at TakeOver Brooklyn in 2015. I really do. And for that, I give this match an A. And I would like to reiterate that this match should have gone on last and main evented. But the main event was Seth Rollins versus Baron Corbin for some reason that I will never know.
What kind of idiots do you have working here?
The finest in New York.
It was a very forgettable match. There's really nothing to take away from this match. Seth Rollins wins with the stomp, and then Raw goes off the air. But in the spirit of Christmas, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give this match an A. And you know what? I'm going to change all my grades. I'm going to go back. I'm going to give everything an A+. How's that? This show was an A+. It did what it needed to do. It was pre-taped. I know a lot of people don't like the pre-tape stuff, and that's okay. But you know what? WWE made the decision to give their superstars some time off. If anybody deserves some time off from the road, it's these people who travel so many nights a year. Let them spend it with their families. Good for them. So yes, A+, I give this show. Tune in tomorrow for the Tuesday night review with Jay. Although it is the B show, he still likes listeners, and it's Christmas, so do it for him. Follow us on Twitter. We are at TTX Wrestling. That is at TTX Wrestling. Tweet me, message me, open the white pages, people. Call me for God's sakes. Help me make my show better than Jay's Tuesday night review. You can find all of our stuff at throwthex.com, which is going to be revamped in the coming weeks. So be sure to keep an eye out for that. It's going to be a badass website. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher. Jesus, we're everywhere. Okay. So yeah, get at us. I'm Ben Conrad. Thank you all for listening, and Merry Christmas to all. And to all a Miller Lite.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Come on! Good off the